Good morning, everybody. It is day 3 of our data unit, and we have been looking specifically at line graphs. We started day 1 by interpreting line graphs, day 2 by drawing some line graphs, and now we're going to use line graphs to solve problems, which is probably the most important skill of all. So if we go to this slide here, there's a lot of words on this slide, so please do make sure you are reading nice and carefully. The teacher notes and guidance that we have here is a good way of you to kind of think about teaching yourself. So have a look through these things and think, well, is there anything here I'm not sure of? So it says, for example, at this point, children should be secure with the term X and Y axis, frequency and data. So if you're not sure on those things, you can check in with your teacher to have a look at that, but also you can use an online dictionary. There's online maths dictionaries that you can use. You can just simply Google them, to be honest, and have a look. Frequency in maths, data in maths, X and Y axis. And it'll give you nice, neat little definitions, okay? X and Y axis hopefully is super easy. Data, I think you can all probably explain. And then frequency as well, I think most of you should be pretty secure with. Okay, so this is a good way of recapping where you should be at this stage. Then have a look through these questions. These are interesting questions for you to have a think about, and just kind of jot down the ideas in your notebook. This isn't the main activity as such. This is just to kind of get your brain into thinking about it, what comes later. Okay. Here then we have some difficult problems, some word problems. So what I'm going to really suggest you do as you go through is read these points here and highlight and jot down what you think the key information is. So for example, if I'm going through here, I'm looking at 5 p.m. That looks like, I feel like that's going to be a significant number here. 8 p.m. I feel is going to be significant as well. Okay, between 6 and 8, that's going to be a significant thing here as well. So we're reading really carefully and we're jotting down what we think is going to be the most important information in order to try and answer these questions as we go. Okay, so I would say read each one, I would say 3 times. Okay, so once to familiarize yourself, second to really pull out the information, and then third to double check that you've read everything clearly. Okay, so work your way through these questions. I would say spend some time on here, and if at this point you're not sure, then that's a good time to check in with your teacher and ask some questions there. What is really important is to write down specifically what it is you don't understand. So instead of just maybe saying to your teacher or to whoever and just saying, I don't understand, that's not particularly helpful. There might be, well, I'm sure there will be, if you don't understand, there'll be certain points, very specific parts of the question that you don't understand. So write those down and come with active questions, not passive learning questions. Okay, so an active question is very specific details, and it makes it easier to answer for the teacher and easier to understand for you. Okay, so do take responsibility in doing that. Right. If you're okay with these questions, then the challenging questions you've got here, the more conceptual ones, are here. Now, these, it says move to reveal the answers. Actually, there's multiple answers that it could be here. Okay, so that's why these questions are really interesting. There's multiple questions. So even if you reveal the answer, it won't necessarily give you the answer, so to speak. This is about your justification of what your answer is going to be. Okay, so as you can see, there's multiple pieces of data on one axis here. Okay, so you're going to have to think about why and what could that represent and what might that represent. And so what we'd like you to do is to share your thinking on Seesaw this time. Okay, so insert a picture or video of your work thinking here. Okay, and then this is to go on Seesaw. So what you could do is you could take a screenshot of this bit, for example, this section, make it larger, put it onto here, and then record a video of you really explaining your thinking and giving justifications why. Okay, so don't just label the horizontal and vertical axis to show this. Okay, so don't just do the first part, actually have a think about those deeper questions here as well. Okay, so this is kind of minimum expectation, and then have a think about pushing yourself to this as well and sharing your thinking on Seesaw. Have a great day, and don't forget to check in with your teachers if you have any questions.